How's it going? This is Dr. Dave Tran with Spinal Missions, and we have chiropractor of the Caribbean, speaker, chiropractor, world influencer, Dr. Nima Rahmany. How's it going?
It's so interesting to hear you say this is Dr. Dave Tran, because the first time we had this interview, you were a student,
I was
the
a
most
student.
interesting chiropractic student in the world, which you cannot say any longer. And
I
now
don't
it's
even.
Dr. Dave Tran. And our first interview was what, 6 years ago,
Yeah,
five
six
years
or
ago?
7 years ago.
Holy
I think we did it on a Polaroid camera. It was really nice. You took pictures of me. I took pictures of you. So it was good.
amazing.
But now, see, and this is awesome. It's full circle now. Like now I have the opportunity to invite Dr. Nima to come down with this, with Spinal Missions to Jamaica, to share all of the awesome things that he's helping, not only just chiropractors, but just people in general all around the world, with all of their things that they're dealing with. Right. So thank you so much for chatting with us today.
It's going to be my first time in Jamaica, so I really look forward to, hanging out with you down there and sharing with the docs and the students.
Yeah. So have you ever been on a mission trip before?
Yeah, I've gone. I was kind of like a card-carrying member of Chiro Mission
Mm-hmm.
with Aura and JC Dornick, and we just went year after year. I think I went 4 years in a row
That's awesome.
between the years 2010 to 2014, and it's so interesting going what an impact it has on you as a practitioner, getting yourself out of your practice, out of your head, into an environment of people where it's not about numbers or money or anything or business at all. It's literally just about giving the gift that we have, and without expecting anything in return from what they're giving us, except the opportunity to serve, which is the reward in itself, which is huge. Big,
Yeah.
big revelation for me. It becomes addictive.
For sure too, because at the end of the day, because like a lot of times people feel like we're going out there to serve serve chiropractic out in Jamaica, but a lot of times people don't realize. I mean, we're really serving ourselves. I mean, giving us some self care. Give us some
Yeah.
time out and helping others by helping ourselves. Yeah.
Well, it's a universal force. There's a universal law that when you go out and you get yourself out of your environment, as entrepreneurs, business people, we get in our heads constantly, and it's work to consistently keep into our hearts. And then there's marital issues, there's problems with kids, family dynamic issues, there's business related problems. So taking the time to leave your practice, go on kind of like an unplugging, get out in nature, and then serve your gift to
Mhm.
people who need it without expecting anything in return from them except the reward you're getting by giving your gift, is the cure. It's a reset for your mind, your body, your practice, your family. If you can bring your kids to that kind of environment, it really changes the game for them as well.
Yeah, so
So
I hope everyone's taking notes, because I mean that's one of the things that Nima always does is over deliver. So make sure you guys have some pen and paper
well,
out.
it's pure selfishness to go down there and serve, because
Exactly right.
and it was funny because after a while I would go and they would ask me to, say, hey, Nima, could you say a few words? I'm like, sure. I get up and share just kind of like what's coming through. And then I started developing this talk that was, coming here and serving. I came here with the notion that, oh, look at me, I'm serving. I'm so important, and this makes me such a wonderful human being. And look at me, I'm so altruistic. And I turned around and it hit me. I was like, this is not just altruism. I'm receiving so much more,
Sure.
that I turned around and my talks started to become, you guys are really like completely selfish for being here, and it's time for us to own that. And they loved it every time. They were like, could you come back and give your selfish talk? And I'm like, so that's what I intend on sharing in
Yeah.
Jamaica, is how you think you're coming out to serve and give, but you'll be surprised at what you're receiving in this.
Exactly. And it's all those hidden gifts that, people will like not see for themselves. So, and that's why you're coming down there to help us to share that gift with everybody. And then, so we have a lot of chiropractic students that watch this as well too. Do you remember what it was like in chiropractic school for you?
It's terrifying.
Mhm.
Here's the question. The terrifying, it's like, what do I practice? that person looks like they got their crap together. Maybe I should do their technique. No, that person, well, I've been following so-and-so on social media. Well, they didn't really have social media when I was in chiropractic school. Holy crap, I'm dating myself. I started the MCC in 1997. So it's not like you could, watch social media and see, pick and choose who. It was terrifying. The anxiety, the transitional anxiety between student and becoming a doctor is terrifying. Will I have the technique? Will I know how to deliver an adjustment? What's the philosophy? Is it subluxation based? Is that BS? Or is evidence based? Is that not subluxation based? And all depends on who you talk to. And it's so flipping confusing. Yeah. You don't know who you are. You don't know what your identity is. So doing a mission trip as a student will actually assist you in not only exposing yourself to successful docs who really feel grounded and centered in who they are, but you'll be able to take a little bit from each of them. You'll hang out with Dave Tran and he'll be like, oh my God, I love this guy's music. Okay, so you're going to put a little bit of music into your practice. And then you'll hang out with me and then I'll be telling like some serious truth bombs and dropping the truth and telling it like it is. And you're like, wow, I want to start telling it like it is, like Nima. And then you'll see, Tim Young, and then see how much of a heart that he serves with. And you'll be like, wow, I got to put a little Tim Young, sprinkle a little bit of Tim Young, boom, boom, right there. And you just get exposed to that, plus getting mentored and going out on the field and really working on the craft of adjusting. And I didn't do it as a chiropractic student, but it would have given me a huge advantage coming in to clinic and going out into practice. Just more exposure, more technique, more heart-centered, more hanging out with successful people on a beach, on a vacation. Where,
exactly.
You can't go wrong.
Exactly, in Jamaica for sure. So, I mean, I know that like you're helping a lot of people through chiropractic adjustments and sort of like that too. But I know there's a lot of people that reach out to you for just help, just in life in general. And outside of just chiropractic. So what's the number one question or struggle that people typically reach out to you about?
That's such a great question. Here's the thing, though. I teach what I most needed to learn.
Yep.
So I went through a divorce about 8 years ago. And the biggest question on my mind at that time that was causing me a great deal of stress, which was manifesting itself physically, was, should I stay or should I go? This limbo, whether it's a relationship limbo, whether it's a career limbo, whether it's a move, there's a transitional anxiety that I discovered in that space, which was very scary for me. And I kept going, it seemed to be a consistent thing. So if you don't really deal with that and do the necessary work to upgrade yourself through the transition and step up into your greater version, it starts to manifest itself physically. It manifests itself through anxiety. Sleep becomes affected. Digestive system becomes affected. You can get your adjustments and still have a subluxation above atlas that stops you from really being connected to that flow that's already there when you're fully expressing yourself, telling the truth of who you are, feeling grounded and centered in your body. The number one problem that people seem to reach out to me for when I go upstream and I keep asking, it manifests itself as relationship toxicity, problems with work, not feeling fulfilled and connected to themselves at work and passionate about what they do. But when you actually go upstream, they're not able to look in a mirror and say, I love you. There's a guilt, there's a shame, there's a past resentment or trauma that you're carrying like a bag of rocks, and it's impacting your health, your business, your career, your connection to purpose, and your relationships, your ability to be present. And your partner starts mirroring all of these traits that you don't like, and there's toxicity from old resentments coming in, spilling over from the past into your current paradigm. So transitional anxiety is really the thing that people have a tendency to have challenges with. And it helps to have somebody from the outside who's gone through it, who's climbed the mountain, cried the tears, and done the work to be able to help them. So I love doing that in addition to the chiropractic adjustment.
And that's huge too. That subluxation above the atlas, right? Like that mind game that that we play with ourselves. And then I know that like people fly all over to come see you, to sit down with you and chat. I mean, what are some big transformational stories that you have heard from people that that have been able to come to you and work with you and get through their
Oh, I just spoke with one of my clients. Sorry, I'm just getting some water here. Sure. I just spoke with one of my clients yesterday. Hold on a second here. Spoke with one of my clients yesterday. He's a realtor, and he came to me, and he's got big stuff coming up ahead.
Okay.
A development and building, and he wants to up level his business. He's about to get married. He's 36 years old and has rheumatoid arthritis. Deals with paralyzing anxiety all the time. Can't really be present. Aches and pains all over his body. He's just sick all the time. He's slow. It just feels like he's climbing up a mountain. And so constant anxiety. So we started working with him in December and created a mission. And I go through the same transformation for everybody. Mission statement. Create a mission statement that's in alignment with your values. We discovered what his values were. So he started to listen to it each and every day.
Yep.
And the way that I get you to do it is you write it out, what you'd love to be, do, and have. And you want to record yourself saying it in a very powerful way, Dave.
Yep.
So every morning when I'm walking Lucy, or if I'm doing burpees, I have a 6-minute recording of my mission statement that I'm transplanting, that I'm implanting the idea into my subconscious mind each and every day consistently. So he just started doing that. And it's something everybody can do, but so little people are actually doing it. That was the first thing. Second thing that we did was we took all of his guilt and shame. So what you're going to want to do is write down what you feel guilty about and what you feel ashamed about. And if you're, how old are you, Dave?
38.
Okay. You can't be 38 years old without accumulating just a few things that you feel guilty. Maybe one or two things you're guilty and ashamed about, right?
Exactly.
The problem is because of the painful feelings and emotions associated with those, we don't actually address them. We bury them, we hide them, and that's where our addictions come, because our addictions are trying to get us away from that disgusting feeling of guilt and shame.
Exactly.
In this gentleman's case, when he was 17 years old, he was out partying with his friends, and he was just being a 17-year-old goofball.
Sure.
And his father was sick, and he died when he was 17. And instead of being at his father's deathbed, he was out getting high with his friends.
Sure.
Soon after that incredible experience of guilt, after that happened, he started developing these weird symptoms.
Got it.
Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune. If you're having an autoimmune issue, you got to ask yourself, why is my body attacking itself? In other words, self-attack, guilt. So I asked him what his guilt was. He told it to me, and he hasn't really cried about it. So he's 36 years old. So we're talking like, almost 20 years. And he's literally holding on to this guilt, and it hasn't been expressed. Well, of course, what's going to happen within a few months of his father's passing, he started developing symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis. So this was the underlying conflict and constraint blocking his flow of energy, his self-love, his flow of life. And what we did was he came to the weekend workshop, and we worked with him one-on-one. We did some breath work, it's a great way of regulating the nervous system and kind of moving old trauma through the body, which I only discovered last year, and it's just changed my life. We did that, and we cleared the stories through this method I created, which is a distillation of John DeMartini, Byron Katie, Andrew Bernstein, all of these other teachers. I put them together, distilled them in my own methodology, which is a self-inquiry tool called the Overview Method. And we took him through a few of those sessions of clearing the charge of guilt and seeing the innocence of his 17-year-old self and healing that relationship with the little boy that he was fucking just beating the crap out of.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, it's now been 3 months, and His symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis is 90% gone. The pain is gone from his body. He manifested a massive brokerage deal with real estate and has now found the property that he's now building a legacy on. It was just a fluke that he found it. His relationship with his whole team has up-leveled. His connection with his wife, amazing. And now he's had probably one of the most profitable years of his entire career, all because we got a mission statement, cleared past resentment and trauma. And the third one was healing all of the relationships in his life that had an open loop. And he learned how to dance with that shadow, dark passenger, that little voice, that little inner critic in your head that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, that pretty much causes you to have imposter syndrome that every one of you students are going to have to contend with when you jump out from school into the real world and you're like, am I a fraud? Am I really like, do I really belong? And that voice, we taught him how to learn how to dance with that voice so that he could have free self-expression, power, freedom in his voice, and just feel authentic. He goes, I've never felt more authentically me and in a, self-love than ever. And on the other side of that come your relationships and your amazing alignment with your career.
What a powerful.
I just talked to him yesterday.
I mean, that's amazing. That is so awesome. That's the thing too, that you're able to help people get through it. And I think that's super exciting. I mean, that's going to be something, some of the things that he's going to be sharing down in Jamaica for sure too. So if you are super interested about all the things that he's doing, I'm going to put some links down below for you to reach out to Dr. Nima. He's super easy to get a hold of. But imagine spending several days down in Jamaica, not only just serving the community, but also serving yourself. Surround yourself with Dr. Nima so you can learn.
I might even, you want to do some salsa lessons down there? I can teach some salsa classes too.
I'm writing this down, salsa.
Fun. Put that in the roster. I'm throwing my hat over the fence and I want to teach some salsa too, Dave.
Oh, I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much. I love it. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to poster that on this video for sure. So I appreciate so much your time today, Dr. Nima. You always over deliver. I appreciate it. And then reach out to him when you need him. Thank you so much for your time today.